If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. A fresh chapter is about to begin, one that the Cleveland Browns surely hope to avoid. One of their most recognizable offensive pieces from last season is officially on the move. Wide receiver Elijah Moore is headed north, signing a new deal with a team many see as a legitimate Super Bowl contender, the Buffalo Bills. This isn't just a typical free agency move. This is a signal that the Bills are doubling down on their ambitions, fine-tuning their offense with the addition of a receiver who, despite a roller coaster ride in Cleveland, still holds the kind of raw talent that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep. Moore's contract, as reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter, is a one-year agreement worth up to $5 million. A short-term deal with big potential, a classic prove-it year in a high-octane offense. And with that, the Browns bid farewell to a player who arrived with high hopes and left with more questions than answers. The Browns had placed an unrestricted free agent tender on Moore, which suggests they were open to the idea of bringing him back, or at the very least, protecting their investment. But Buffalo came calling, and Moore answered. For Cleveland, the silver lining lies in compensation. They are now set to receive a compensatory draft pick, a small but potentially useful reward for losing a player of Moore's profile. Elijah Moore's time in Cleveland began in 2023 after a trade from the New York Jets, who had taken him in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Expectations were cautiously optimistic. The Browns saw a speedy, versatile receiver who could stretch the field and offer a different kind of dynamic in their offense. In his first year, Moore caught 59 passes for 640 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not eye-popping numbers, but a solid foundation. Then came this past season, 61 receptions, 538 yards, and just 1 touchdown. A step back statistically, and perhaps more tellingly, a season that left fans and coaches wondering whether Moore had hit his ceiling. The raw numbers don't tell the full story, though. Averaging just 9.8 yards per reception across his time in Cleveland, Moore never quite became the deep threat many hoped he would be. But to lay all the blame at his feet would be unfair. Cleveland's quarterback situation during Moore's stint was, in a word, unstable. Injuries, inconsistency, and constant adjustments at the most important position in football cast a shadow over the offense, making it difficult for any wideout to shine, especially one trying to establish a rhythm in a new environment. And yet, despite the frustrations, the potential always lingered. Moore's college tape at Ole Miss was electric. His quickness, change of direction, and ability to separate made him a nightmare to cover. That's the version Buffalo hopes they're getting. A player still only 25 years old, with the kind of upside that could pay off in a big way if nurtured in the right system. Buffalo, for its part, is betting on that upside. The departure of Stefon Diggs created a vacuum in their receiving core, and while no one expects Moore to replicate Diggs' production single-handedly, he does bring a new wrinkle to the offense. He'll be catching passes from Josh Allen now, not dealing with the carousel of quarterbacks he had in Cleveland. He'll be playing in meaningful games, with playoff implications, surrounded by a roster designed to compete in January and beyond. For the Browns, this departure stings not because of what Moore was, but because of what he might have been. The receiver room in Cleveland isn't exactly overflowing with proven talent. Outside of Amari Cooper, there are more questions than answers. Moore was supposed to be part of that answer. Instead, he's headed to the AFC East, leaving Cleveland to reevaluate what their passing game will look like moving forward. What comes next for the Browns is unclear. They'll receive a compensatory pick, yes, but that doesn't fix the depth issue at wide receiver. It doesn't magically create chemistry between a quarterback and a new crop of pass catchers. And it certainly doesn't ease the pressure on the front office to ensure this team continues to improve in a division that features perennial contenders like Baltimore and Cincinnati. Elijah Moore's departure is more than a roster move. It's a reminder of how quickly things change in the NFL, of how potential sometimes goes unrealized, and how teams must adapt or fall behind. The Browns took a swing on Moore, hoping to unlock the explosiveness he showed in college and flashed in New York. It didn't quite work out. Now, it's Buffalo's turn to try. This move could be the fresh start Moore needs. In a new system, with a new quarterback and a new culture, the ingredients are there for him to thrive. If he clicks with Josh Allen, If he finds his stride in that offense, this could go down as one of the savviest signings of the offseason. If not, then it's a low-risk, short-term experiment that didn't pan out. A familiar tale in the NFL. Either way, eyes will be on Buffalo, and eyes will be on Moore. Because when a player this talented gets a second chance in a better environment, expectations follow. Quietly, there's a sense of anticipation building, not just in Buffalo, but across the league. What if this is the year Elijah Moore finally puts it all together? Cleveland will be watching too, no doubt. Watching to see whether they let a breakout star slip through their fingers. Watching to see whether their decision not to bring Moore back becomes a footnote or a regret. And Moore? He gets what every athlete hopes for when the dust of disappointment begins to settle. Another shot. A shot at relevance. A shot at redemption. A shot at the Super Bowl. The countdown begins. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Nobody saw it coming. Not even the wildest NFL dreamers could have scripted something this absurd. Lamar Jackson, the former MVP, the face of the Baltimore Ravens franchise, is now officially a Cleveland Brown. Yes, you heard that right. The quarterback who once terrorized defenses while wearing purple and black is now set to lead the offense of one of Baltimore's biggest rivals. And let me tell you, the NFL universe hasn't stopped buzzing since the news dropped. Shockwaves have been sent through every corner of the league, and Cleveland fans are still trying to process what just happened. Is this real life or just one of those bizarre off-season fever dreams? It all started with rumors, whispers in the shadows, speculations that no one really took seriously. I mean, why would they? Lamar Jackson leaving the Ravens felt impossible, almost sacrilegious. He was their franchise guy, their pride, their symbol of a new era. Sure, there had been talks of contract disputes, minor tensions behind closed doors, and some raised eyebrows over long-term planning. But even in the height of those debates, most people believed the Ravens and Lamar were bound together for good. And yet, the unimaginable has now become reality. The Cleveland Browns have landed one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in NFL history, and the entire league is stunned. The announcement came early in the morning. The Browns' official social media accounts posted a simple image: Lamar Jackson in a Browns jersey, staring into the camera with the caption, "New Era Begins." Within minutes, the internet exploded. Twitter was on fire. Instagram flooded with memes. TikTok creators started churning out reaction videos faster than you can say AFC North. Fans from all over the country, heck, all over the world, couldn't believe what they were seeing. Even some Browns supporters thought it was a prank at first. But no, it was real. And that reality hit like a freight train. Cleveland's front office had been quiet this offseason. Too quiet, some might say. After a disappointing end to their last campaign, many expected them to regroup, make a few modest moves, and hope for a better outcome next year. But what they just pulled off is not just a move, it's a statement. It's a cannon blast heard across the league. The Browns are no longer satisfied with mediocrity. They're going all in. They've just added a player capable of flipping the entire narrative surrounding their franchise. Now let's talk about the fan reactions, because wow, were they something else? Cleveland fans are divided. Some are ecstatic, calling this the most exciting move the team has ever made. For them, this is hope. It's a lifeline. After years of quarterback instability, heartbreak, and being the punchline of countless jokes, they now have a superstar under center. Lamar isn't just a good quarterback. He's a game changer, a human highlight reel. He brings electricity, swagger, and credibility to a team that's been desperately searching for an identity. But not everyone is on board. Some Browns fans are still skeptical, even angry. The scars of past controversies and failed quarterback experiments haven't fully healed. And bringing in a divisional rival's icon only adds salt to those wounds. For them, it's not just about performance. It's about loyalty, history, and what it means to wear the orange and brown. Some are questioning the massive investment it took to land Lamar, both in terms of salary and trade compensation. Others wonder how the locker room will react to such a seismic change. And of course, there's always the question of how Lamar's playing style will mesh with Cleveland's system. Meanwhile, over in Baltimore, the mood is somber. Ravens fans are gutted, betrayed, even. To lose a player like Lamar Jackson is hard enough, but to lose him to the Browns? That's the ultimate gut punch. Social media has been filled with emotional messages from Ravens fans thanking Lamar for the memories, while others vent their frustration at the front office. Some are blaming the organization for letting things deteriorate to this point. Others can't believe Lamar would actually make this move. It's a breakup no one wanted, and the bitterness is already starting to seep in. But from a purely football standpoint, this is a game-changer for the Browns. With Lamar at the helm, they immediately become one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC. His mobility, vision, and playmaking ability will add a whole new dimension to their offense. Pair him with a solid offensive line, a reliable running game, and a talented defense, and you've got a team that can make serious noise in the playoffs. More than that, you've got a team that now commands national attention. Primetime games, spotlight matchups, media buzz, it's all coming to Cleveland. And let's not forget the drama this adds to the AFC North. Every game between the Browns and Ravens from now on is going to be must-see TV. You can bet that first matchup in Baltimore is already circled in red on every calendar. The boos will be deafening. The tension? Palpable. It's not just a rivalry anymore. It's personal. Lamar Jackson wearing a Browns jersey on that field? That's going to be one of the most surreal sights in recent memory. The NFL schedulers might as well put that game in primetime now. Behind the scenes, there are still a lot of questions. How did the Browns pull this off? What kind of package did they offer to get Lamar? And more importantly, why did Lamar choose Cleveland? Was it the money? The vision? The chance to start fresh in a system built around him? Or was it simply the best available option after things collapsed with the Ravens? Those details will come out in time, but for now, fans are left to speculate, dissect, and debate. And they will, because this move changes everything. For years, the Browns were seen as the underdogs, the cursed team, the franchise that couldn't get out of its own way. But with Lamar in town, the narrative is shifting. Suddenly, Cleveland is a destination, a team with ambition, a franchise ready to swing big and take risks to win. Whether it works out remains to be seen, but you've got to give them credit for daring to shake up the league like this. Lamar himself has yet to speak publicly about the move. That press conference is coming, and when it does, you can bet every microphone, every reporter, and every fan will be hanging on his every word. What he says, and how he says it, will matter. He'll need to explain why he's here, what he hopes to achieve, and how he plans to win over a fan base that's seen its fair share of heartbreak. It's not going to be easy, but if anyone can handle the spotlight, it's Lamar Jackson. And so here we are. The 2025 NFL season hasn't even started yet, and we already have the storyline of the year. Lamar Jackson is a Cleveland Brown. The NFL just got a whole lot more interesting. Buckle up, folks, because this ride is just beginning. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!